At a commercial laundry in Bengaluru's electronic city, the machines rarely stop. Every day, nearly 5 tons of clothes move through this plant, washed, steamed, dried, and folded in a continuous cycle. And behind every cycle is water, lots of it. Nearly 20,000 litres every single day. But the water running through these machines today is not groundwater.
In our cycle, we need per day we are using 4 to 5 ton cloths. We need 13 kl to 15 kl, and another extra 5 kl we need for the boiler for steam generate. So we need 5 kl extra. So per day we need 20 kl.
Until recently, this laundry depended entirely on groundwater. Over time, workers here began noticing the impact it had on the washing quality as water began to harden.
Yeah, before what we are using groundwater, on that time that boiler and all it was choking. Because of that groundwater is a more hardness and tedious also more is there.
Across Bengaluru, this shift is beginning to play out in small but significant ways. Industries that once depended entirely on bowells are slowly turning towards treated wastewater. Not necessarily because they want to, but because the city's water crisis is making alternatives unavoidable.
Once that summer drought came, we suffered a lot. We couldn't get a sufficient water from Kaveri, so we severely depend on tanker water, almost half of them for a tanker water.
From manufacturing units and laundries to data centers and IT parks, the demand for water has continued to surge across Bengaluru's expanding outskirts, with the industries consuming at least 440 million litres of water every day.
Right now, groundwater is like being extracted left, right, center. Some old industrial powers like Pina and all, they get some BWSSB supply, but the newer ones don't. So they are completely reliant on tankers and borewells.
But beneath Bengaluru's growing water crisis lies another reality. Even as groundwater is being extracted across the city, millions of litres of treated water are going to waste.
In terms of, say, apartment STPs or decentralized STPs, apartments can at most use only 50% of it. And what happens to the excess? And they have to release it somewhere. And again, the natural drainage of the city comes to the rescue, and stormwater drains are the place when they are released. And ultimately, all that treated or semi-treated water kind of ends up in lakes.
To see this happen in real time, Shashank Palur, a hydrologist, takes us to the Dodda Bommasandra Lake in North Bengaluru.
The Dodda Bommasandra Lake is getting 10 mld of water from the STP. But then also the lake receives a lot of raw sewage and all. So it's almost like the waste of all the resources of the treating kind of going into the lake.
What makes the situation particularly tragic, Shashank points out, is that Bengaluru actually treats enough wastewater to significantly reduce its dependence on groundwater.
Around 1600 is getting treated, and our groundwater consumption right now varies between 1400 to 1600 mld. So yes, all our treated water, if reused within the city, can offset our groundwater demand.
For Bengaluru startup Boson Whitewater, this contradiction became the starting point for an idea. What if excess treated water from apartment sewage plants could be recovered, further purified, and supplied back to industries instead of being dumped into drains? A decentralized water network that was built entirely around reuse.
So, if you see developed cities of the world, the centralized treatment, they take it to a very high quality and aim at distribution of water which is high quality. So the idea came from, if we can do the centralized way of doing in the Western world, if we can adopt it for decentralized infrastructure for the city, then we solve the local problem of the city. So from one building's wastewater, we are able to convert it to high quality and transport it to an other industry who can use this water instead of fresh water.
At SJR Brooklyn Apartments in Whitefield, a sewage treatment plant runs continuously in the basement. Every day, nearly 130 kiloliters of sewage is processed here. Like most other apartments, the treated water was reused within the campus for flushing and gardening. But only partially, while the rest was drained into the lakes.
Roughly 65,000 will be used for our flush related and then for our gardening purpose also. So the remaining 60,000, close to 50,000 liter of water is unused only. So we have no other option, we have to discharge the water. Okay, so that's how it goes. So it goes, ultimately it's a wastewater.
Though apartments are expected to follow zero liquid discharge norms, residents say complying is not easy. Hiring tankers to carry water to a site for reuse can be expensive.
So 5 tanker per day we have to hire. Okay, so 5 tank is let's say 10,000, 3 lakhs rupees. Our BWSSB bill itself 1.5 lakhs only. Who will spend 3 lakhs? How is it possible?
Today, however, the apartment runs a better model.
இங்கே ஒரு ஃபில்டர், இங்கே ஒரு ஃபில்டரு, இங்கே ஒரு டோசிங் சிஸ்டம் இருக்குது. அதுக்கப்புறம் இங்கே ஒரு இது ரெண்டும்.
Before leaving the apartment complex, the water now passes through an additional 11-stage filtration system. The aim is to produce water clean enough for industrial use and potentially even potable standards.
This is our first stage of filtration. Here we alter the pH of the water and then take it to this media filters. One will remove the suspended solids present in the water, and this removes some amount of organic contaminations and remove color present in the water, and also it removes some traces of iron present in the water. And post that there is a dosing system which is to reduce the scaling effect on the water, and the water will be gone through micron filters which removes particles up to 5 microns and 10 microns.
Nearly 50,000 litres of treated water from this apartment is supplied every day to a nearby IT park, benefiting both residents and industry. At Jeeves Laundry, tanker after tanker now arrives carrying treated water instead of groundwater. Not just that, they have a plant on site to treat the wastewater and send it right back into the cycle.
Yeah, on that time we are not getting right time water on the time. So now we are not facing like any issues because of we have here only the plant and all.
While Boson's network is still small compared to the city's enormous demand, the quantity of water being kept in circulation is significant.
So every day we are now supplying 14,36,000 liters almost every day, right? If we had not done this 14,36,000, this would have two sides of problem. One, 14,36,000 liters would have gone to the drain as wastewater. No one would have bothered to have gone to the drain. 14,36,000 liters would have extracted on the other side as a fresh water.
Researchers say industries are one part of the larger reuse possibility. At the same time, public parks and landscaping could become some of Bengaluru's easiest reuse opportunities.
So we had done a few pilots in North Bangalore, where an apartment which had access treated water, and the parks which were less than a kilometer away from the apartment, and this worked out really well because the borewells in the park had run dry and they had storage spaces, and we could actually see the apartment actually was sending out 60,000 liters of water every day to these parks.
A stronger policy support could push this transition much further.
Actually, little bit of government intervention would be, adds more value to this process. Say for example, right now, we have to rely on the tankers, okay, who come here and go to Kalani Tech Park, which is there. But just in front of our gate, we have 4 IT parks are there. They also have the water needs, okay. But the moment government also started pushing, okay, in such cases, maybe we can just put one pipeline just opposite there.
But beyond technology and infrastructure, the biggest challenge may still be psychological. Changing how people think about treated wastewater.
Till the Swachh Bharat thing came in, I think people did not even have toilets inside their homes. So going from having toilets inside to reusing your treated water is a big leap. And I feel this is where a lot of awareness and education needs to happen. One thing is, for example, through schools or colleges and all.
3,000 apartment.
Today, Bengaluru's wastewater economy is small and fragmented. But as groundwater declines, these decentralized networks are beginning to test a larger possibility. Whether treated wastewater can become Bengaluru's third major water resource, alongside the Kaveri and groundwater.
Thanks for watching Eco India. If you like the story, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Scroll.in on YouTube.